Okay, guys, so the next section that our law school study cohort is studying is matching flaws in the LSAT. And again, this is all available on Khan Academy for free to the public, which is awesome. Bless up to Khan Academy. So these are some of our notes that have been helping us to tackle the problems on Khan Academy. So when you go to Khan Academy, just go to the LSAT portion. So matching flaws, in the beginning I was like, basically it's like the ain't that like saying. So they'll give you a passage that'll have a flawed logic to it, and you have to identify essentially the flawed logic, like the general rule of the flawed logic, and then find an example that mimics that flaw. Now, the issue with this is sometimes it's really easy to identify the flaw. Sometimes it's not, right? Sometimes you may have to separate the passage into sections to identify the pattern of the logic. We found is it's a lot easier to find an answer choice that mimics the pattern of the logic. I'll show you what I mean. So take a look at this problem right here. All right, so it says, which one of the following most closely parallels the questionable reasoning cited in the passage? So here's the passage. If you want to pause it, take a look, okay, and try to find the questionable reasoning. But like I said, the tip that's helped us is find the pattern, like the structure of the argument. We found to be very helpful. All right, so now we'll read it. Okay, hopefully you've already paused it and read through it. Okay, so increasing the size of a police force is only a stopgap method of crime prevention. It does not get at the root causes of crime. Therefore, city officials should not respond to rising crime rates by increasing the size of their city's police force. Okay, so you know me, I like to do things visually, so here's how I separated this up. So here we have the context. Increasing the size of a police force is only a stopgap method of crime prevention. It doesn't get to the root causes of crime, right? Then the conclusion is, therefore, city officials should not respond to crime rates by increasing the size of their city's police force. AKA, if it doesn't address the cause of the problem, we should not use it to solve the problem, right? And if we want to break down the structure of it, I actually just use a chart format to see which of the options mimics the structure of it. So, boom. It's two parts because A only addresses the symptom and not the cause of the problems. The second part, we should never use A to solve the problem. So one of the choices said, some people think that rules with higher standards that people can live up to, such as enjoining total honesty, prevent some immoral behavior by giving people a guide to self-improvement. So, and then it says, but such rules actually worsen behavior by making people cynical about the rules. That doesn't follow the stimulus, right? Which is because A only addresses the symptom, we should never use A to solve the problem. So it wouldn't be that one. Then we move on to the next one. Swamps play an important role in allaying the harsh effects of floods because they absorb a great deal of water, okay? And for the second part, although dams prevent many floods, they worsen effects of the greatest floods by drying up swamps. That's not following the stimulus, right? The pattern. So we'll move on to the next one. Because taking this drug does not cure the disease for which it is prescribed, but only reduces the disease's most harmful effects, doctors should not continue to prescribe this drug. That matches the stimulus. Because A only addresses the symptom and not the cause, doctors shouldn't continue to prescribe it. And for me, just kind of setting up that structure helps. And that was the answer, by the way. Yay. Okay, let's try another one. So again, which one of the following arguments contains flawed reasoning most similar to that in the argument?
Anyone who believes in extraterrestrials believes in UFOs, but the existence of UFOs has been conclusively refuted. Therefore, a belief in extraterrestrials is false as well.
So if we were to break up the format of that, it would be, if you believe A, extraterrestrials, you also believe B, UFOs, but B, UFOs, has been refuted, so the belief in A, extraterrestrials, is also false. So in option A, they said anyone who believes in unicorns, which would be A, believes in centaurs, which is B. But it has also been demonstrated that there are no centaurs, B. So there are no unicorns either, right? Which is the format, right? So see, these problems is really about identifying the format. And option E said anyone who believes in unicorns, which is A, believes in centaurs, B, but it has been conclusively proven that there is no such thing as a unicorn. So a belief in centaurs, B, is mistaken. So as you can see here, A has the ABBA format, whereas E has the ABAB format. So the answer would actually be A, right? Which it was, but how they explained it is super overwhelming to me. So that's why I need to chart format. Okay, so let's look at another one. Okay, this is about museum exhibit options. Okay, so take a moment and then hear what I have to say about it. Okay, so Donna claims to have found the museum's current exhibition of bronzes from Benin less interesting than many of the other exhibitions recently put on by the museum. According to all the critical reviews, however, the Benin exhibition is more interesting than any other exhibition that the museum has put on in years. Therefore, Donna's claim must be false. That's a little easier, right? Essentially, the flaw is if your opinion doesn't match critical reviews, then your opinion is false. So your opinion is A, but critical reviews say B, the supposed experts, so your opinion, A, must be false. So let's go through the options. So boom, the ones that I found closest was A, Alice claims to have completed her assignment. According to her supervisor, however, the task that Alice was assigned to do has not yet been completed. Alice's claim therefore must be false. This one does follow the format, kind of, right? Because Alice claims something, someone else claims the opposite, and therefore Alice's claim must be false. The only issue here is that we're dealing with facts. So option C was the next closest. Lorraine claims to like the taste of the fish at the Diggins Diner. However, since according to everyone who knows anything about food, the fish at the Diggins Diner tastes dreadful, so Loren's claim must be false. That follows the format to a T. Obviously, this takes a little bit of time, so, just keep practicing it. But this is what we found is that this section really is more about matching the format as well as the flaw, but really the format really helps.